greet everyone who's watching BNP today. This is your show once again, The Standpoint, and I'm so overjoyed to be with two guests. Before I even go straight to the topic, let me welcome them. I will start by my left side, as they say, ladies first.
Yeah.
You welcome Gahimbare Verite. Would you please greet as well our viewers?
Hello guys, my name is Verite Gahimbare and I'm from Gihosha, if that's all. Do you want to
You can go a little bit more.
I go to Jenge Africa Foundation and it's a pre-university, and in my afternoons I just teach English to kids. Yes, that's all for now.
And again, I'm with my brother Celestin. Would you please also greet our people?
Hello guys, my name is Celestin Havyarimana. So I live at Cibitoke, that's where I actually stay. And as my profession, I'm a teacher at a school called École Amie des Enfants de Matana. So if you'd like to have your kids there, it's a very nice place. Okay.
Oh, amazing. So today you can hear that we have two guys in the studio who are amazing, but you're gonna discover that as we go throughout the topic. And I don't have the statistic right now, so as I go to the introduction of my topic, but I hope when you are living in the country, not only even the Burundi, all over the world, we see many people getting married today. But with the new generation, let me say it so, because I heard that my parents, they couldn't do that. They just saw that when they were already married. So we're gonna talk about premarital sex. Are you for or against? So I just have to ask, for those who don't understand premarital sex, it's just the fact of making love before you get married, or just enjoy sex when you are not yet married. So today I'm gonna ask this first question to my viewers. First of all, are you for or against?
I am for.
You are for. Yes. Premarital sex. Pastor Celestin. I call him already a pastor. You can easily figure out that he's against that. So I will ask why you're against premarital sex.
Okay, thank you for this interesting topic, premarital sex. Number one, I would like to say I'm completely against it. So there is a reason behind. I understand on my side that a man has been created. So when a man was created, there were some regulations that the Creator just put in place for him to follow. So one of the regulations was marriage, and the marriage is a divine institution, and that institution, God said, you should not make love before marriage. So that's why, for example, I'm against. It is because the one who initiated marriage does not like it.
I'll get back to you, and let me ask our sister Verite.
Yes.
Why are you saying you are for? Sorry, you are for, and you got the explanation that were given by Brother Celestin. Maybe we'll try to argue over that.
First of all, I would like to say he said that it's a divine institution, and you know that divine institution is different from me and you. You may be a Christian, I may be a Muslim or an atheist, so something that is divine is different from me. So if two young people or teenagers want to have sex, I don't see the problem if they consent. If they consent because they like each other, maybe they love each other, and they are also doing what you said, marriage. When you are like two people are making love, you become one. And if you become one while consenting, I don't see any problem. Yeah. I would like also him to explain to me what he said about divine institution, because I don't understand how we see things through religious things only. If we can think outside the box, from someone who has never heard of God, how will you explain it to him?
Well, you got a question,
I got a question
that she put to you, so you can maybe try to shed some light over that.
So before, I would like to say that we can judge something depending on its outcome or consequences we see in the society. Now, see, I'm now apart from any religious perspective. I'm just, starting with what we see in our community, how premarital sex is affecting our neighborhood, our young people. So after analyzing this, we'll be capable of accepting if it is something true or not.
Meaning you consider the consequences of the thing, and then you can judge whether it's bad or good. So let me try to go a little bit, in the core of the topic.
Okay.
Because when you want to, of course, to treat the consequences, you also better know the causes. So she was trying to explain all about love, that when you're feeling each other, you can, you can enjoy. Why not become one when you are still teenagers? So here we can, try to understand this issue. We also try to know what are the causes of it. So she's bringing maybe some, I don't know whether we can call them positive arguments. Maybe you will also disagree with what she's saying. So you got what he was saying. He talked about consequences, but me, I want to know the root, the motives. So what can push you to make love when you are not yet married?
The thing that pushes most young people to make love is like we have hormones, and our hormones are very uncontrolled, you can see. So if I want to be in control of my own hormones, so I will probably ask my girlfriend or my boyfriend if he consents to do the act. But the other thing I think is we are in a technological world. We see a lot of things that influence us, and sometimes if you are influenced, you want to reproduce the act, what we see on TVs or what we are seeing on our phones. So maybe it can be harmful to the eyes, but our hormones are very much in control of young people. But as you grow older, that is how you become maybe capable of controlling them. But if you're still young, you have to be in control of your hormones. That is why probably people go into the premarital sex.
Well, and you deem it's a good thing.
It's a good thing if you acknowledge what you want. Yes, and he or she wants to do it, then why not? They can go for it.
Yeah, sure. Okay. Brother Celestin, you also come back a bit to the causes of that, and also maybe elaborate on the consequences, because she's saying it's a good thing, but you're telling us a bad thing. So what do you think push people to make love when they are not yet in the divine institution, as you said, and what are maybe the consequences of that act?
So thank you for this topic. I know this topic is very challenging, and it's not easily to be understood by many people, depending on the age that we are in. She was, talking about hormones, and that this is part of human creation, and no one can deny that hormones, drive people into what they like. But let me come back to the intention, of sex. Why did God give sex to humans? God gave sex because, number one, he wanted people to reproduce. Number two, he wanted people to enjoy sex as, a couple. I hope you understand.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
But the couple might be before marriage.
Yes, two teenagers, and you can enjoy sex.
You can also reproduce before marriage.
And, yes, I know. And something very terrible, we do not consider or think about what happens when sex takes place. When sex takes place, number one, we have a virgin, okay? And that virgin, once she is deflowered, okay, when I said to deflower, okay, now there is a sign of a blood, the sign of blood which is shed.
Yeah, sure.
And whenever you read the Bible, you come to understand that blood is a sign of covenant. It's a sign of covenant. And that covenant has to be respected and honored by the people who have shed them, or who have shed it. Now, in this context, when a woman goes into marriage, that sign of blood was for an everlasting covenant between a man and a woman. You see? And God said that whenever these two people are into marriage, nothing can set them apart because of that blood which was shed. And let me come back to the New Testament. When Jesus was about to die, he said, this blood of mine is a blood of the new covenant. The reason why today, for example, when a man sin, okay, when a man commits a sin, in the eyes of God, that person, once he comes back to him, he's forgiven no matter how many sins he has committed. Why? Because of that sign of blood which is there. So blood is something uniting people, two different people, they become one through blood. Now, you can imagine a young old man who is 16 years old, okay, and a girl, maybe 15, they started now uniting themselves through that bloodshed, okay, and after 2 years or 1 year, they got separated, okay. The one who has, ended the first relation goes into another man or woman, then he is united once again to another person. You see, this kind of covenants, in the long term, they affect psychological, mind of people. So now marriage must be, sex must be taken into the marriage area only.
Well, maybe of course, because I see she has some disagreements, so I will get back, for the consequences. You didn't tackle that yet, but let me give her time to express herself.
Two questions before. I would like to if you said about virginity, maybe this is kind of unrelated, but consider someone who has been raped, okay? She's a girl. And then after she heals from the trauma and she decides to have sex, she's still a teenager. She was raped before. So now the second time, will you consider it like bloodshed because she didn't have a choice of having sex, but now she's consenting and she's not a virgin? How will the bloodshed covenant be? And the second thing you said about reproducing, God created sex. Remember, I'm not such a Bible scholar, but sex was not in the mind of God. He created only two people. Reproducing came after Eve and Adam had sinned. So if it was not part of the creation, and after the sin it came to be like reproducing, how then would you say that it's a covenant when it was a sin before? And people can enjoy sex when they are just two. The covenant is between you and me and God. If we honor God, then there is no problem.
Well, Celestin, you have been able to get our questions, right? She's trying to ask you how you can say a covenant, of course, when, for example, somebody was raped. So would you call that a covenant, or the covenant will be when she will be consenting or with somebody else when they're about to, of course, to have sex? And again, about reproducing, I said God created first, there was no intent of reproducing. That came after reproduction, of course.
Let's go gradually.
Yeah,
Number one, when there is a bloodshed, there is covenant. It's like a law.
So the rape is a covenant.
That person who has been raped has already entered into a covenant.
So with the
with the one who raped her, of course.
So she has no other desire to meet with somebody else because she has.
The desire is there, but the consequences from the first covenant may keep run, in the life of that person who has been raped.
But a covenant is between two people who agree.
Yes, of course.
Then when you are raped, you don't agree to be raped. Someone cannot say, hey, I'm here, rape me.
You know, there are things in life which come to us not because we didn't want them to come, but because we violated some laws. Do you understand it?
No.
There are things which happen to our lives, not because we wanted them to come, but because. Let me give you an example.
First, if I'm raped, does it mean that I have in some way violated another
certain laws?
Some
Yeah,
law.
let's wait. Maybe we.
Let me give you this example. I'm a father.
Okay.
Then God has blessed me with 5 children. It's an example. Then I'm working, you know, at a place where I'm well paid at the end of the month. And then I take the money that I'm paid. Maybe I become a drunkard. I never care for my kids. Then those kids were supposed to study and at, you know, some best schools,
Yes.
so that they can you know, have access to, you know, better education of equality. Now, at this time, I come home late, okay? No time to speak with my kids. And they find themselves in a situation where they are dismissed from school because there's no one, you know, who is paying the money.
Yes.
That I would pay myself as a responsible father. If those kids stop studying, is it their mistakes? It is mine as their father who didn't act according to my responsibility.
Yeah.
They are living the consequences of my irresponsibility as their father. Now you understand?
Yeah.
So there are things in life which come to us and we find ourselves growing up into that you know, bad outcomes, not because we didn't choose to, but because we were obliged to live in that area or that circumstances.
Okay, what about the rape then?
Yeah, maybe he wants you to, you know, to correlate that
Yeah.
straight
To the
straight to the rape, because maybe, you know, even for people who are watching us today, they want really you to relate maybe those things that we don't choose, but because we have neglected maybe some laws that we don't know, we are not aware of, then maybe they can, you know, bring out some bad consequences.
Okay, now I don't know if people understand as me what I call sex, but when sex is taking place, it's not that, you know, physical act.
Yes.
No, there is something beyond what people think. When people are having sex, they become one in terms of their emotions. Okay. Don't get surprised when, for example, you were like somebody who is kind, or who was not, you know, in a bad mood. But after having sex, you find yourself, you know, talking to people as if you never pay attention to their who they are in the society. When you have sex with somebody, there is interconnection between you and the person, to the point that, you know, at a certain time, you can find yourself reacting in the same way as the person with whom you had sex before. So now this means sex is something uniting people in terms of even the way you think, the way you react. That's why.
So it's no problem if me and like my boyfriend, if we are teenagers, we have better moods after having sex, or we are united, that will not be a problem.
Okay, the problem is this: when you have sex, if that person is defective, the same defects that maybe you have been avoiding for a lot of time, you can find yourself living the same defects of that person.
But that can happen between a husband and a wife. If the husband had some defect after having sex with the wife, he can pass on the defect to the wife. Yes.
Now, in terms of marriage,
we will.
listen to me carefully.
Yeah.
In terms of marriage, because when you enter into marriage, it's no longer you.
It's both
This
of
means
you.
there is a third person who stands for his institution that he established long before you came to this earth. Now, marriage is something that sanctifies people if they do it. I mean, if they do sex, you know, in the right way that the Creator wanted it to happen. Now, it keeps sanctifying them. than defiling them.
But let's go back to the Bible. You are saying that the sex sanctifies people. I would like to know, Solomon, he had 100 wives, I think. Do you think that he was, no, he had not 100, I think 1,000. So he was sanctified 1,000 times.
Okay. I'm going to answer this question very clearly. Solomon had 1,000.
Yes.
But the problem is that he didn't act as the Creator wanted. God told them, I mean Israel people, he said never marry people from outside.
Okay? So if he had 100 wives from the Israelites, he will be sanctified. But because he had wives from Egypt and maybe Ethiopia, he was not sanctified.
That's why, you know, when you read the Bible, they became the source of his, you know, his reign.
Okay, what about David? A lot of men in the Bible have multiple wives. So if you can, and you say it is a covenant between a person and another person. And when another person enters, he's like breaking the covenant prior. So if I was a man of God, the one that we admire in the Bible, they had multiple wives. Where is the problem if I and my boyfriend have sex when other people in the Bible had sex? They had the covenant with their first wives, but me, because I'm not married accordingly, I'm sinning.
Okay, now God has never accepted a man to marry many wives. We see it in the Bible.
Where exactly?
There are things we see in the Bible that God tolerated, not because he liked them, no, but because he was a God of compassion in the Old Testament, in the New Testament, he still be. Those things he tolerated does not mean that, you know, he agreed or he agrees with them today. We see, for example, Solomon, he had 1,000. David had more than one wife. Now, if you study carefully the Bible, we find out that whenever a man or a person breaks out divine law, there are consequences. Let me give you an example. We have our grandfather Abraham in faith.
Yes.
God told him to wait until, you know, Isaac is born. Now he didn't like to wait. Sarah, his wife, told him, okay, you can take, you know, this wife, our concubine, and marry so that we can get a child. God told him, you disobeyed me. Now because you disobeyed me, the child that was born from this woman will be always a problem to Isaac. This is what is happening today. Israel is having problems, endless problems with the Arab world, you see. Now whatever God...
So you mean the kid from the concubine?
Yes.
He's the ancestor of the Arab persons? No.
Ishmael.
No.
For sure.
Guys,
Sir,
we might lose the track because we are going far, you know,
from the topic.
Of course, in so many, I mean, historical fact that we cannot prove now. So I just want us to stay in the topic, and I just want to know, because this one is saying. When you know you are having sex and you are still young, you are feeling good. You know, after that you are in good moods. So why what's wrong with that? So I just want to tell her to tell us what are maybe the other benefits or the advantages, you know, that come out of you know, having sex. And Brother Celestin will tell us maybe the consequence. So it's maybe we put in balance and see what is good and what is bad. It's really hard, but everyone will choose to say, if I do this, I will gain this, or if I do this, I will lose this.
Okay.
So maybe that can help our audience to maybe to get something at least.
I think one advantage of having sex when we are young. I think you get experience from the persons you've been with. And premarital sex is not only for teenagers, it can also be for a 50-year-old man. So if I don't have a wife, but I have my needs and I have to get my needs done or have them, so I can have sex and it can unite me to that person that I'm consenting with. And having sex when you are still young, it can diminish rape, because rape is done by people who are driven by their hormones, they don't have someone to be with. But if you were young and then you had someone to be with, I think that can be a benefit to society. It can diminish rape, and it can also diminish unwanted pregnancies to women who did not want to be raped. Yeah.
She has been able to give us maybe some free advantages of having sex before marriage. She has pointed out the first one is meeting your needs. Second one was reducing rape, and also unwanted pregnancies.
The fourth thing, you can have money.
You can have money throughout that.
Yes, you can have money.
Okay, Celestin, maybe you come up with the consequences. Maybe if you have also some advice, because she's younger than you, maybe you can also provide some
problem. Maybe that's the problem, because I'm younger.
not the problem. Not the problem. Here we discuss about the ideas, the facts. So we are here to help each other, not to, to destroy each other, one another.
Okay, thank you. This topic, I know there are many young people who get the chance to listen to us, and it's very crucial that we debate carefully this topic, because, after this show, there are some guys who can take a decision, pro or against premarital sex. So you have to be careful.
Yeah, sure.
Talking about the consequences, sometimes there is a question I likely put to my colleagues or to any person when this topic comes up. This is the question. Suppose that you are a man at the age of marrying, then there are 3 girls in front of you. Okay? 2 of them have known more than 10 men in premarital sex. And the third guy, the third lady, has never known sex. She has never had sex before. So they ask you as a man to choose someone to marry, someone who, to whom you will entrust your kids, someone to whom, you will have a future life together. Which one will you choose? When it comes to this question, a lot of men, they keep silent. They start thinking. You see, they cannot, give a direct answer to this question, because they know we can sometimes support things or agree things because of, we have many people around us who have gone the same way. Then we say it's fair. But when you come back to yourself, you think twice, you take time to think. You see, this way, it has no good future. Now, no man who respects himself can choose one of the two. You are a married man, I'm a married man, okay? Now we are talking, frankly speaking. You are given 3 ladies, 2 of them has known more than 10 men, and the other one has never had sex before. I know for sure, we say, okay, I will go for that one.
Because those men are selfish.
It's okay, it's okay.
Get back to her.
It's okay. So, here I'm talking about now the consequences. Why can't you choose the 2, one of the 2? Because you know the consequences. When sex happens, there is in our life, there is a part of emotions which is highly touched. When people are having sex, they speak to one another, isn't it? They speak. Oh, I love you, my darling. Oh, my beautiful moon. Words which, you can never understand maybe the deep meaning, but which are very relevant in that time. Now, women, they have emotions. Men, they have emotions. when they have sex, those words are not empty words in the air. They affect the way we think. They affect our feelings. Now, after 1 year, there is a breakup. We break up. After breaking up, each guy goes their own way. Now, next year, there is another person. You join together. Other words, my sister, the date or the day you decide yourself to get married, don't think those feelings will be abolished. No. Once you are in bed now, you will start comparing those men you knew before. This is something very, very clear. Oh, this one is not doing better than the other guy you knew last year. Oh, I wish I would be with that man whom we broke up. These ideas will wake up in your feelings and you will start killing the other guy who never knew about that person. Now, sex before marriage, it causes harm into people's relations, especially because of the feelings which have been hurt before. Number 2, there are some people even who commit suicide when there's a breakup. You see, you've been together with somebody for 5 years, having sex as a papa and a mama, in the family. All the people know your relationship. Wherever you go, you are together in feast, at church. Then suddenly there's this breakup. What happens? Some people commit suicide. There are some even who take drugs to release their pain. So this is a psychological problem. Number 3, let's talk about the social problems, social consequences. When you are with somebody, what you do, you aren't private. In this life, there's no private life. No. People know, they see, they talk. Now imagine, today you are with a man. After 2 days, you separate. After 1 week, you get attached to another man.
But is it your problem if I go with a lot of men?
I'm coming to the social problem now. I'm coming to the social problem. Number 3, you get, into a relationship with another person. In a year, you have already gotten into 5 relationships and then you break them up. Now, people will say that woman that you are going to marry has never held any strong relationship. Then you will be in a position or in a situation where you terrify people of marrying you when it comes to getting married.
They get scared of you.
Yes.
Okay, I see she's burning.
I'm burning. He has talked about a lot of things, and you will bear with me. Some of them I have forgotten them. But the first thing I want to ask you, do you accept that people are different? You and Mr. Patrick and you, are we different?
We are different.
Yes, so we are different. So if I have been with 10 different people, I can be with another one. Those emotions you said can be abolished because we are diverse. As you have said, you said that we act to different things, and the way I act is not the same way he acts or the way you act. So I can be with 100 men, but if I have a husband and I love him, having sex before cannot be a problem to us. Even you say that people break up after 1 year because they had sex with multiple men. You know that breaking up and divorce from married people comes from a lot of things. You cannot only say that the 2% of having been with another man can cause the divorce or the breakup. And there is thing that you said, you are married and he's married, and you have 3 girls, and one is virgin, 2 other people have been with a lot of men. Consider it from a side of a women also, because us
I was about to ask you the same
we
question.
have emotions.
Of course, you are given 3 guys.
Yes.
They tell you this one has slept with more than 10 girls.
10 girls.
And another one, this one has slept with more than 15 girls. And this one has never done that. So who would you choose?
I said that I said those men were selfish because you think about yourself. You don't think about the other girl. Did you ask her why did you engage in those relations? Did you ask her? No, you are only thinking, my kids are going to be with this girl. Do you mean that a prostitute can never be a good mother?
She can.
Then those girls can
But
also
probably she can.
No, she can. We cannot take things that are 50% and then make them 100%. A prostitute have been with 100 men, and she can be a good mother. She can be a good wife more than the one who were virgin, fresh from home. That girl that was innocent, maybe. If I can say it in Kirundi, there is umugani ubugati ubwati bukanye nibwo buturira inzu. If
meaning that
yes,
that comparison, I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Buy it, because he said that if a girl has been with 100 men, cannot be a good mother, cannot be a good wife. It means also the innocent girl, the one fresh from home, can also be a bad mother, not because she has not been with men, but because of her character. First, you judge a person by a character, not by the person she has been with.
I didn't confirm it.
We are not confirming anything.
Okay.
We are not confirming anything. And if I go out with 100 men, that is not your problem, mister. That is my problem, and probably my parents. You in the society, you just mind your own business, and then I go with mine, because I'm consenting with the person that I'm being with. Maybe I need money. Maybe I need assurance from Patrick. Maybe I need help from him. Maybe something, but I have to give also something. It's a give. I think it's a win-win.
So, well,
Can I ask a question?
Before I let this argument ongoing, let me explain. About her proverb, because or a maxim that she used, because maybe some people who don't understand Kirundi, she came up with a proverb or maxim that said ngubwatsi ngo burembye ngo nibwo buturira inzu. Trying to, I don't know whether it's a literal translation or its interpretation, or say cold grasses are the ones that can burn the house.
Yeah.
Meaning she was referring to maybe a virgin woman who can become a wife of somebody, then we not be able to to make a beautiful home. He maybe gonna destroy the home, or gonna maybe embarrass the family. So I was trying to make, and I can also give you time now. Thank you.
I'd like to know to put a question to her.
Yes.
In this very simple way. Suppose that today you have a boyfriend. Okay. Now, whenever you think of your relationship that you have
with him,
yeah, you are free. Then you enjoy this kind of life you have together, and then it may happen that you find the guy cheating on you all the time. Will you put up with the guy, or will you break up?
Because he's cheating on me doesn't mean he gives me value, so I will not put up with him.
Okay. Yes. Now, you see, but we are coming.
That is cheating.
Yeah.
That's cheating.
Yes.
We did not consent to have a multiple relation. You know that people can be in a frappo, something?
But he is acting. He is
You
acting
guys,
he's cheating. He's cheating. He's cheating.
It's this new generation, I'm telling you. I'm so scared.
In a frappo, yes. First, I say sex is between people who they consent between the two. And if you are my boyfriend and I'm your girlfriend, you have to respect me. If you respect me enough, you won't go on cheating me. So if you don't love me, then we break up, and then you go to with your other girls. I have no problem.
I was on my way now coming.
Yes.
Now, you are saying premarital sex is something good, depending on you. I was asking this question to know. This guy, you love him and he loves you. And he has also the right to love somebody else. Why do you choose to break up when you find that he is cheating on you?
Because we had made an agreement. When
It was a covenant.
Yes, it was a covenant between you and me. If you want to love somebody else, tell me that you don't love me anymore, and then I go my way, you go your way, and you have your things. But if you are still together, me and you, you have to respect me. You have to tell me, I don't love you anymore, I'm going to another girl. Just like a married man and a married woman, the man can go in the town and then see another young, beautiful girl, and then decides to break up with his wife.
Why don't you think in this, in this context?
Yes.
Oh, I have my boyfriend,
Yeah.
and I love him, but I know he is weak. To some extent, he's a human. He's weak. He's, he can be driven, by what he likes. So if he goes for that lady, for that young girl, and if he accepts to come back, I will accept. Why don't you, think in that way?
Okay, let me answer you. If you want me to think that way, I will cheat him also worse than him then.
Now you see, this is what I was telling here before. Now you see, you can't put up with that guy because your emotions are hurt.
Yeah, because he disrespected me.
Now you see,
He disrespect. That is not about premarital
sex
No.
is disrespect for your own sake.
How my own sake?
Okay.
I am a person. I am me and you are you. My decisions are mine. They are not yours. So if a person, we are in a covenant, as Mr. Patrick said, you have to respect that covenant. And when you don't respect, you even say that there are some consequences. Even God has torn the kingdom of Solomon into two because he did not respect the covenant. So me, who is a simple human being, why wouldn't I break the covenant when even God has broken it to Solomon?
Okay, now I quite understand what you say, but this is my point. You are hurt in your emotions.
But that's not premarital sex. I had the sex with my boyfriend I enjoyed before, but now he has moved on or I have moved on.
Oh, now let's come back to the definition. Premarital sex is sex before marriage.
Yeah, sure.
Yes, but that's not cheating. That's not breaking up.
He was
with
trying
him.
to convince you using some examples, maybe showing you how, when he goes out. Then, you will be angry with him.
Because
then
he has disrespected me. Not because we had sex and then he had sex with another woman or man. He can be gay.
That respect, what you call disrespect to you, for him, is not disrespect. He has expressed, his love to another person.
And
so why don't you put up with that guy? And you love him so much, but you don't put up with him.
okay.
I'm trying to, to show you that what happens in premarital sex has a very negative and a very bad impact on people's emotions in society.
Yes, but not.
Do you accept it from this point?
I accept
Okay.
I accept from a person who, from, how can I say, from diversity. We are different people. The way I act is not the same way you act, sir.
But of course, I understand we are diverse, and it's the difference of the colors that makes the beauty. But here, I wanna tell that so we also have some common traits. Like for example, every human being is made by three main parts. The spirit, the soul, and the body. You see, so there are things that make us unique. Almost unique, and also almost the same. So because you is the example that he was trying to give you, that when you stick to someone, you attach to somebody emotionally, and you even go to the point that you sleep together. That will stay with you until even when you marry,
old.
you're old. Imagine then you are marrying somebody and you have slept with a very, the one who deflowered you. Do you think you're gonna forget that easily? Do you think when he was a great performer, let's say he performed better than even your current husband. Do you think you will just erase all those images that you had together?
For me, I have yet to
Though
know.
we are different, of course.
Yes, I have yet to know if I will forget the man who will deflower me or deflowered me. But a person is different. I can easily forget you because maybe you had cheated on me, and I had moved on, and I have healed from my, let me say, the trauma that you caused me. Then if I forget about you, I can be with another man. Because having sex is when two people agree. And if I agree with you and you are not a great performer, that will be my problem, how I will react to it. Maybe I will compare you to the other man, but not because he was the one who deflowered me. Maybe because the way you look, the way your physique, I would say, the way you stand up, something like that. Not just because I have been with 100 men. Because you say that a prostitute can be a good wife. If a prostitute can be a good wife, then what is the difference with a teenager who had been with 100 men?
Okay, now.
So you will call me a prostitute if I've been with 100 men?
Try to make a long story short because we are running out of time. Maybe then after intervention, maybe go to the next section, right?
Yes.
I didn't say that prostitutes, may not have a good marriage. They can, because this premarital sex problems which can result from it is one of the many things, okay, which can destroy marriage, okay. They can be, good wives in marriages. But what I'm trying to, to make it clear is this: premarital sex, without ignoring, as a human being, it, it has side effects in terms of emotions and the psychological aspects. I know it better.
Define them.
Okay?
Define them.
Okay, I'm on,
those
on my way.
psychological effects.
Yes, yeah.
And on based, because we are 8 billion people, or people who are viewing us, they are different. My psychological problems will be different from you. Yeah.
Okay, now, it's very simple, unless you want to ignore it. But if you are a human person, if we have some common drives as human beings, you will understand that whenever somebody you love, whenever you break up with that person, you will be hurt, isn't it? You will be hurt. Now, this is the first experience you got. You go to the second, then you break. This ongoing breakup will leave you into a condition of hopelessness.
But how does...
Your image will be destroyed. Your self-image will be destroyed.
Yes.
This you know. And sometimes there are other guys, teenagers, who run into drugs to try, to forget those people whom they have been, together for years with this breakup. Now, it has psychological problems. And socially speaking, even people, you start having a wrong self-image. Because if, for example, somebody break up with you, there are some words that he leaves behind. Maybe you are ugly, maybe you don't do this with the other, as the other guy, does it. So all of those words, they don't leave your personality in a state of tranquility, of peace. No, you are touched emotionally. Then you want somebody else who can, come and maybe take this shame out of your life. So you keep on destroying your life unknowingly. So it has, bad consequences, premarital sex.
Okay, sorry, Patrick. If someone they are in a holy relation. In a holy, because if they don't have sex and they break up, that person, you say that someone you love, that when they break up with you, you go in some kind of emotional trouble or emotional trauma. When you hadn't had sex, and then the second time, you break up and then you are emotionally hurt. That means that maybe you will be, how can I say, you will be traumatized, not because you had sex with the person, but because the person you loved the most deceived you, disappointed you, not just because you had sex.
How did he deceive you? Through premarital sex?
I asked in a holy relation.
When we didn't do that.
When we didn't do that. Holy
relationship, meaning there was no sex.
No sex. We
in
were...
the relationship. But he deceived you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Now, somebody that you break up with without sex is very different from somebody you've broken up when you had sex before. It's very different. Very different. There are some ladies and boys who can go into a certain relationship. When they break up without sex, they can stay, they can be friends, normal friends. But when they had sex before, brother, it's a very hard problem to get rid of that person.
Speaking from who?
Huh?
Speaking from what?
From the, from
No, we have to. You said we are about ideas and facts.
Yes.
And we are running into it's a psychological problem. Speaking from what? Do we speak that if you had sex with someone, you cannot be friends?
When you break up, that friendship is gone forever.
How many % would you give it?
Do you have cases? Do you have statistics?
Yeah, we don't have statistics.
Yeah, that means that...
It depends on what we see.
Yes,
Well,
sure. Maybe he has got some testimonies or...
From a younger person, as you have said, I say that it can be easy to be a friend with someone you had slept with. Can be easy as long as there is no tension.
Easier than the one that you didn't sleep.
Yes.
You didn't sleep with.
The fact that people don't become friends after breaking up is because maybe the thing that has broken them is too big for them. There is some tension. But if we have parted ways when we are consenting to part ways, that will not be a problem. We can still be friends if we have agreed. But if you have committed something grave, something brutal to me, how will I be a friend to you? Even though we had been in a holy relation.
Okay. Patrick, before I finish, I haven't done any statistics yet, but last time I was reading some news concerning, divorces in families. Most of the time, families with couples who had sex just in their first life as couples, they have this kind of assurance of having strong families. But divorces today, which we have in our communities, mostly they find their origins into this premarital sex that people knew before they got married.
Well, thank you very much for your different viewpoints. It was really hard to stop you guys. The watch is against us, but it was so good to hear from you. We're learning and we're having a good time debating. And then let's move to the next section, which is quiz time. Well, now it's a challenging time. I will have 2 questions only, and I will start from the left side. Because when starting the show, we start from the right side, though we say ladies first, but it was better to start from the against. So, Verite.
Yes.
The word premarital is made of how many letters?
Premarital. Let me count.
You count. You count the same count I'm counting. In 5 seconds, you will be done.
I will say 9.
9. Is it true?
Premarital?
Premarital. Yeah, you're still
9.
counting as well? 9.
Yes.
She got it. Oh, well, okay. So, just another question. You will answer that. If you are not able to answer that, maybe she's gonna answer that. There is the mother of the freedom fighter. Let me call him freedom fighter. Is the hero of independence of our country, Rwagasore. What's his name? I mean, what the name of his mother? I mean, what her name? The name of Rwagasore's mother. It's a tough question.
It's a tough question for sure.
She's gonna answer to that if you don't answer. Rwagasore mother, what's her name?
You know the father only.
You know the father only. What is
Ngambutsa?
Ngambuta? What is the other? Oh, okay, you got it. Okay, Verite.
The name is sleeping. I just
Are you sure? It's
the
sleeping?
name Rose. Rose.
No, that
something.
Rose. That was his wife.
His wife.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
maybe. That is for people who play Génie en herbe.
Are you sure? No. Her name was Therese. Therese Kanyonga.
Yeah, Therese Kanyonga. Yes, Kanyonga.
All right. So we're done with this section. So let's shift to the last section, which is we are gifted. Well, I started from this side. Now I start from the right side, and I hope this is not for the first time Verite sees that, but maybe Celestin is his first time to be in the standpoint, and maybe doesn't understand what is this section talks all about. So it's all about knowing the talents, because we do believe that each and everyone is created with a talent. We are gifted one way or another.
Okay.
So have you already discovered your talents, or you are still in the process trying to discover which are your talents or gifts?
I know my talents.
You know your talent?
Yes.
What is that?
Yeah, preaching the gospel of Christ. And
Preaching the
singing,
gospel of God.
And teaching.
And teaching.
Yes.
Well, how you gonna demonstrate that? It's gonna be a little bit tough. Okay, this lady told us about her talent. Do you remember?
Yes.
What were they?
Cooking.
Cooking. It's like, are you still
Yes.
on that only? So it's really impossible to demonstrate that again. Cooking.
Cooking. It's if you ever invite me to do a cooking show.
Okay, let's start by, we're gonna try find a ways to demonstrate that as well, but we have to start by Brother Celestin. Would you preach in just 30 seconds or 1 minute? 30 seconds or 1 minute? 1 minute. You are given 1 minute to preach.
To preach.
Then you show us that you are
A preacher.
you are gifted. You are talented in the preaching.
Okay. So in the book of John, chapter 3, verse 16, the Bible says, "For so God loved the world, and that He gave His only begotten Son, so that whosoever believes in Him shall not perish but have everlasting life." So the word is clear. There is eternal life through Jesus Christ. And the Bible continues by the verse 17 saying, God never sent Jesus to condemn the world, but the world to be saved by Him. So salvation is available in anyone who believes. When you come to Christ, your sins get forgiven and you become a new creation. You become a son of God.
Wow, thank
Amen.
you. He's a good preacher, by the way. Have you felt it? You knew already the verse. So she's also a preacher.
I'm not a preacher. Some people will call me someone who is a non-believer.
A non-believer.
So,
but you used to be a great believer.
I did not used to be a great believer. I was an average believer.
An average. Are you sure? Whereas you master even the verses, you came up with John 3 and then
No,
you went straight
every time
right away. It's like
every time someone wants to preach and they say John 3, it's only John 3:16. There is no other verse. So it was sure that he was going to say 3:16.
Okay, well, so trying also to demonstrate your talent, we are not calling you for a cooking session or cooking show, whatever. So I want to know,
Yes.
what is the delicious food that you have ever cooked?
I think now I will say that I have cooked meat.
The most delicious.
Yes, the most delicious. Now I used like a YouTube video from an Indian person, and he showed me so much more ingredients, and I will say the way I cooked it was very delicious.
And you
could have eaten your fingers.
Sure.
Yeah.
Were you able to find those ingredients or those
Yes.
spices? And here in the country?
Yes, we have an Indian restaurant uptown, so that is where I went to ask for the ingredients.
And you found all of
Yes.
them. Wow, great. So guys, you can see that we have so many talents here. So one day we invite her for a cooking show. I'm not sure about that. I'll be lying. So maybe we go to her home, and maybe she, why not, get that wonderful moment and enjoy her food. And also you have been able to get that we have a great preacher today here in the studio. Let's hope he will be even coming again and get the opportunity. Why not to to share the gospel? Here we are people who like to get new insight and learn everything about life. So even the good news, even Holy Scriptures, even the people not believe in God, we give them opportunities to come here and to share their viewpoints and get to know what are the different beliefs and what are different opinions in people. So thank you guys. It was a pleasure being together with us. Stay connected. This is BNP TV.